Hey, here we go. Call to the booth. Aqib Talib, my co-host Harrison Sanford. Man, it's my favorite part of the show. That fantasy fix you need. Man, I ain't want no 5-time Pro Bowler for nothing, man. Super Bowl champion for nothing. I know this shit. You know what I'm saying? So listen to me. Put your bets in, man. DraftKings. Here we go, Harrison. What we got?
I'm happy that you didn't lick your fingers this week. That was last week was enough.
Just like Jameis' speech, that's once in a lifetime.
Oh, real quick, what was the feedback when people started to see that clip on social media? I know people hollered at you.
Yeah, I got a bunch of crying faces. I got a couple questions. Like, some people didn't even see the speech. I'm like, how y'all missed that speech? So I don't know. I mean, the non-football fans, they was asking me questions about the speech. But the real football fans, the real football fans, I got a lot of crying faces, a lot of laughs. You know how that go.
The real fans must have been like, what is this dude? Oh, he better go back to playing football. He look crazy out here. All right. We gotta get to the show.
Let's get to the show, baby.
We're gonna do the A+ matchups. We're gonna review them and then look ahead to week 4 so you can make the correct fantasy football decisions. So hopefully that you can win. We're gonna do some fantasy football questions, start, sit, streaming defenses, things of that nature. And then, of course, we're going to look ahead at all the primetime matchups and include that Kansas City Patriots matchup because it feels like primetime, and I don't understand how it's not in primetime. But let's
primetime in my eyes.
Exactly. Let's review what we got. Let's start. We talked about him in our Wednesday show. A.J. Green had a bad day again, this time against Darius Slay in week 3. You were right.
Hey, no touchdown. Slay followed him, put the handcuffs on him, man. Slay look good, man. Slay look good. Philly can catch up. Hey, y'all got a number 1 CB1 out here, man. He's strapping number 1. So, hey, man, make it work, man. You know what I'm saying? Catch up to him. Come on now, Philly.
Last year, they had one of the worst secondaries. So now they added Darius Slay, Roby Coleman, I'm sure you know well, is in that slot too.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a quick question. If you have a wide receiver unit going against the Philadelphia Eagles, and you're looking at your fantasy team, I assume that the secondary receiver, the one that's not in the slot, is the one that you want to play. Like, for example, T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd play well against the Eagles. And I assume that's just because of the nature of that they're not seeing Slay and they didn't see Roby Coleman a lot, right? Am I right saying that?
Exactly, man. The Z receiver, because Slay probably going to be on the X. That's your number 1 dog, probably going to be your X. Slay probably going to be on your X. My dog Roby probably going to be on your slot. I mean, he a dog too. I've been leaving his name out, but, man, Roby Coleman, man, y'all know about him. He probably going to be on your slot. And then so your Z receiver is the one who may come alive a little bit, man. So, you're playing against Philly. Check who that Z receiver is, man. Check who that second outside receiver is. And he may be able to put in some work for you.
All right, you see, you're making these guys smarter, making them a lot smarter. Let's go to the Kenny Gallaudet matchup, which you also talked about as well last week. He went against Patrick Peterson, one of the best cornerbacks in the league. Should be in the Hall of Fame at some point when he decides to hang him up. Tough matchup for Kenny Gallaudet.
He didn't follow. Gallaudet played sporadically. He's come back from a hamstring, so he was in at some points. He was out at some points, man. So I think that was kind of, throwing Pat P off. You know what I'm saying? It looked like they was going to follow at the beginning. But he ended up not following. Gallaudet ended up scoring a touchdown, having, mid-range yards, 50 or 60-something yards or something like that. But Pat P did not follow the guy. He did not have that touchdown on Pat P. But he did have a touchdown, man. He did have a touchdown. And but this week, man, with the Saints coming to town
Wait, don't do it just yet. Don't do it just yet.
Okay.
You know why? Because it's one of my favorite parts of the show. I think it's probably one of yours. We get to drop the bomb. We get to play the music.
Yeah.
That's how we like, you know what I'm saying? So before we get to the A+ matchups for week 4, Aqib, what's the rule?
It's only one rule, baby. You got to follow for them A+ matchups. That was the bomb right there.
Yeah, that was the bomb right there. All right,
Yeah.
let's do it. You already alluded to it, so let's get right to it. Kenny Golladay going against Marshawn Lattimore of the New Orleans Saints. A big over-under in that Lions-Saints game. Some people in my survival league got the L and got knocked out because they picked those Lions to lose against the Cardinals. They were wrong. Thank you for being wrong. But yeah, let's get back to the matchup. Kenny Golladay versus Marshawn Lattimore.
Yes, sir.
Who wins the matchup?
Lattimore hasn't followed since week 1. You know what I'm saying? He followed Evans. You know what I'm saying? Put them shackles on him. And he hasn't followed since week 1. And I think the Saints as a whole, they play better when guys can really study one guy and study their matchup and they follow that guy. So they played excellent in week 1, in my opinion, and then they haven't really played that well since then. So I mean, I think this week they'll get back to that following, they'll get back to letting Marshawn study his matchup and letting Jinx study his matchup and so on. So I think they'll follow this week, man. It'll be Marshawn versus Golladay. A lot of man coverage. And I think Matt Stafford stays away from Gallaudet, man. I think Marshawn put the shackles on him because when he follows somebody, he put the shackles on him. I think he put the shackles on him. I think the tight end, what's his name?
Hawkinson.
Oh, TJ Hawkinson. Yep.
I think Hawkinson may do a little something. And I think that secondary matchup with Marvin Jones may do a little something, man. But I like Gallaudet to be under control. I like Lattimore to win the matchup.
Okay, so you're going with Lattimore in this matchup. Interesting, just because Kenny Golladay can still go off, but you like Lattimore. All right, matchup number 2 coming from a non-prime time, but it is a prime time game. One of the best DBs in the league, Stephon Gilmore. Can he keep Tyreek Hill of the Kansas City Chiefs, obviously, out of the end zone?
Man, Tyreek has been putting up numbers, man. He's on my fantasy team, and he's been getting me 16, 18 points a game, you know what I'm saying? Because it's been the touchdowns, it's been low yards, but it's been the touchdowns that's really been what's propelling him on my team. But can Gil keep him out the end zone? No. The Chiefs is on absolute fire, and I think they're going to try to get Tyreek Hill more involved. I mean, if you can really get him more involved, I think they're gonna try to get him more involved because he's been having like 50 yards, 60 yards, and so on. So I think they're gonna try to get him a little more involved this week, man, regardless who on him, man. And truth be told, guys been kind of getting behind Gilmore this season, man. Even last week, the Raiders, I think Aguilar got behind him one time. They called pass interference or something. He didn't catch the ball, but he had a step on him. And you don't usually see guys get behind Gilmore like that, man. So I don't really know what's going on. But guys been getting a step on him. You seen Metcalf get a step on him. You seen Aguilar get a step on him last week, man. And if anybody can get a step on you, it's Tyreek Hill. So I like Tyreek Hill to get behind him one time and, get in the zone. But maybe 80 yards, touchdown. It's to win in my book.
Obviously, you're not going to play him in your cash lineups in DFS. Stephon Gilmore is just too good, but he could win you a tournament play because a lot of people are going to be scared of that matchup, especially if Steve is right and he still gets a step on him. Obviously, you're still going to play him in your season-long league. He's just too good. You got to play him. You don't bench Tyreek Hill, but pay attention to him in your DFS tournament lineups. And finally, we might touch on another matchup, actually, but before we do that, let's look at the bigger units here. One of your top no-fly zone teams, the Los Angeles Chargers, going against Tom Brady and his elite wide receiver unit. Obviously, you envision Tom Brady throwing at least a couple of touchdowns. Yeah. How does this matchup break down, and who is the pass catcher that could potentially eat in this tough matchup?
Yeah, but yeah, like you said, we've been putting a group. We've been trying to put a group, just keep it interesting in our A+ matchups, man. So this week we go to Bucs versus Chargers, and no Chris Harris Jr. I like the Bucs to win that matchup, man. I like how Tom Brady is really just filling this thing out, man. That's how you know you the GOAT. One week he come out, he throw Evans 8 balls, then he throw Godwin 8 balls. He throw OJ 8 balls. Now last week he came out, he really tried to get Gronk involved. He threw Gronk 8 balls. He had 6 catches. But it's kind of like a pick your poison week, man, with these guys, man. But I like with Chris gone, Chris not really patrolling that inside. I like those tight ends. I like OJ. I like Gronk to really get involved in the game plan this week, man. I like him to work that middle, work those seams against that cover 3. He know what he gonna get. And in the past, Tom Brady played good against this Chargers cover 3 type scheme, man. They put it up to New England before, man. He do all check downs, let guys run after the catch. So I like the backs to get the ball too, because Tom going to look deep, let him drop. He going to throw it to the backs. He going to throw it underneath. He going to let those guys run and get what they can get. He's not going to force it. He know about this defense, man. So I like Tom to just pick it apart, man. I like him to win the matchup.
Yeah, that should be an interesting one. It will. The one thing you have to kind of consider if you're playing it when it comes to DFS, how much points can the Chargers put up that would make Tom Brady throw the ball? Do you expect Bradley Roby to follow Adam Thielen?
I do. I like Roby to follow Thielen, even though Jefferson went crazy last week, man. But the week before that, I think it was kind of even. And the week before that, Thielen was the one who went crazy. So, man, you kind of pick your poison there. But I like him to put Roby on the veteran, man. He's really the go-to guy. So I like him to put Roby on the veteran. And Roby being productive, man. Like I told you, he got some good Tyreek, Hollywood. Now he got Deontay Johnson in his bag. He followed Deontay Johnson last week with like 4 targets, 0 catches. Deontay Johnson was the leading receiver in targets and catches and yards for Pittsburgh. He ain't get on the board last week. My son was following him around all week. Man, hey, I'm standing on that, man. Rogue gonna follow Thielen. He gonna be productive, man. Ain't nobody roasting my dog this year, man. He good.
All right, we're gonna play a quick game here. Quick game of trade or save. Adam Thielen, one of the better wide receivers in fantasy football over the past couple of years. No more Stephon Gilmore. No more Stephon Diggs. Stephon Gilmore, all in my head. These A+ matchups been going crazy. No more Stephon Diggs. Adam Thielen is no longer in the slot as well. And so it's obviously a minimized passing attack. Do you trade or save Adam Thielen?
Man, I say trade him, man. He's gonna draw the number 1 DBs. He's gonna draw the help. If you don't have a number 1 DB, he's gonna draw the safety help. So Jefferson is the guy who got to win. He won last week, man. He's productive. They still didn't win the game. But Jefferson is the one who's going to have to win, man. I think Thielen done went ham enough in the NFL where he's the wide receiver 1 over there. So he's definitely going to get all the attention, man. So I don't know how productive he's going to be. He's going to have the doubles. He's going to have the number 1 corner, man. I say trade him.
So fantasy football players out there, go ahead and look at Adam Thielen's schedule. Pick a game where he might go off. And then right after he goes off, trade him. See what you can get. Obviously, this week is going to be hard to trade him if the Bradley Roby matchup plays out, if they end up playing the game. A bunch to find out. It's been a hectic year. When we get back, we have more of your fantasy football questions to answer. We'll start 2, we'll sit 1, streaming defenses. Come right back with more Call to the Booth.